Here are 4 of the biggest game industry trends emerging from GDC 2018. 1. AR is the new VR. Despite tons of investor interest and loads of hype from critics, virtual reality has had a tough time getting off the ground. The current headsets remain expensive and unwieldy, and though tech pundits believe that they'll shrink enough in both size and price in the next few years to become a major technological force, it's taking longer than many expected. In the meantime, augmented reality has not only delivered a massive hit in Pokémon Go, but remains more attractive for developers thanks to its lower cost of entry. I think people are looking forward to AR in particular, Carlos said. Given that in the longer term we may not use phones, we may actually be using glasses with phone-like information on them. I think that enables AR to be an exciting possibility. A lot of the technology that games is pioneering will be needed to make that AR work. The space is exciting and there's cool stuff going on there. At the end of 2017, you couldn't scroll 2 lines into a gaming forum without being bludgeoned by the words "loot crates" and "the death of single-player games." Ultimately, both issues, which we won't litigate here, boil down to the success of games as service, games that operate on a continuing revenue model through subscriptions or post-release updates that keep players coming back and spending money. Some of the industry's biggest games function this way, from Blizzard's ATVI hit shooter Overwatch to Supercell's mobile mainstay Clash Royale. There are so many games that have been released 3 or 4 years ago that have greatly improved themselves because they are being run as a service, Carlos said. How do you compete if you're new off the block with some of these games that have been around for a long time? That's a good question, and one that countless game companies will spend the year trying to answer. Getting it right, creating a game embraced by players that also works as a long-term revenue generator is no easy task. Even harder? Just getting noticed in the first place. Between the consoles, PC, and mobile devices, tons of new video games are released every week. As more and more players opt to buy those games digitally rather than make the trek to retail stores, the old models of how a game gets discovered are breaking down. That means figuring out new ways to get a game noticed. Building buzz in a sea of software requires planning beyond a commercial or 2. Social outreach, press coverage, changing the revenue model. There's no one right answer. Plenty of GDC panels about PR and marketing hope to give clues about achieving this sort of success, though expect companies to spend the bulk of 2018 actively searching for ways to cut through the noise. All too often, players fire up an online game, sit through matchmaking, and emerge in a virtual world only to find themselves the target of obscenities that would make George Carlin blush. Online gaming drama can quickly take a turn for the worse, such as when a swatting prank resulted in the death of a Kansas man at the tail end of 2017. No matter the form, bad behavior is bad for business. In turn, game companies will be spending a great deal of time in 2018 trying to clean up their communities. GDC helps kick that movement off by introducing a new organization called the Fair Play Alliance. Its goal is to take the fight to the trolls by sharing best practices to encourage healthier player relationships. Over 30 of the world's biggest game companies are on board, including Blizzard, Epic, Riot, Rovio, Supercell, and Twitch. Other notable trends covered at GDC 2018 include the continuing rise of esports representation and diversity, game engine wars, and the potential use of cryptocurrency in gaming. More games news. Follow Ben Silverman on Twitter at Ben_Silverman.